What is going on, everybody? Gambit Axiom here with some WSS Esports podcast. I am joined by the one, the only, Dill, short for Dylan. How you doing?
Hello. Doing good.
All right, so this is going to be a very new thing we're bringing in with the WSS Esports. We're hoping to have a lot of fun with it. I'm hoping to bring in a new guest, a new captain, player, what have you, in each week on this podcast. We'll go through their games, etc. For this week, since we don't have games, we're just going to talk about the teams. But real quick, I do want to make a habit of doing this. Dill, can you give me a quick, brief introduction of yourself? Maybe how you joined WSS, how you've had, if you've had fun. I don't know if you've had fun.
So we going back all the way to RD2L, or what's happening with this?
I don't. How far do you want to talk, dude? I mean,
all right. So me and Gambit fortunately got drafted to the same RD2L team. I was playing for God knows what reason. And then I guess Gambit just remembered my name from then, saw I was a carry player, and was just like, yeah, I've never seen you play carry before, but I'm putting together a god stack. You want to join? Then we can, go out and win the league. So
yeah, the rest is history.
Dynamic dumbasses, the rest is history.
I think that's exactly what went down too, because at the time we were forming, what basically would roughly be Kobolds now. I was gonna play with Anthem, Levi, Darth, me, and I was going to grab one other person. I was like, well, ideally we need a carry because they're all 3 through 5 players. And I was like, man, there was this guy on my RD12 team who kept joking about, like, he's like, I'm plat tier Morphling. I can play some pause 4 Morph, And I was like, why don't we see how this guy plays carry? So, yeah.
I ended up working on, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say, we won a championship, got a second place the next season, and
fourth place in
intermediate the next, and now we're back in Cobalt. So yeah, it didn't do too bad. It was pretty cool. Now, I've been in 82 a while, and I think roughly around WSS a good while too. I've played, prior to being on the Cobalt stack, I played some on WSS, Hack one season, and was good friends with the guys since a little bit before that. But can you give me a brief experience of like your 82 history? Because I know you've been playing for a good while too.
Yeah, so it started out pretty much just playing with IRL friends, getting me into Dota. And then we all decided there was a TDL that started up.
Yep.
And we were like, hey, that sounds pretty cool. We met a few of the guys in a pub, actually, and became good friends with them. Played against them. They were like the top team in that division.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up getting a team and trying to play that. It ended up kind of like crashing and burning, at least the NA side. But met a lot of people through that and wanted to continue with the amateur Dota scene. So we found 82L, and the team I was going to join with, we ended up not going through with that. So I just joined as like a solo, ended up kind of getting put on like a last second team. Didn't work out too bad. Didn't work out too well. Made it to like second round of playoffs. Then all of a sudden comes Mad Max. I think I met him in a like looking for a team in a battle cup, and we ended up doing pretty well. We won that one, and then I think we won the next like 5 or 6 battle cups out of 10. So we ended up we were on a roll.
Yeah.
I told him about 82L. We ended up joining. Finalize our roster a few weeks before, and we ended up winning that season. So I joined season 23 and went with Max season 24. We ended up winning that one, moving to intermediate season 25 and getting 3rd place. So I've been all over the place for the last few seasons.
Okay. Now I think it's really cool too, just to point out, like, you met some guys from ATDL, right?
Yeah.
In a pub?
So actually it was one of my IRL friends met him in a pub, and then they talked about it, about the league, and then he told us about it.
Okay.
And then we ended up joining, kinda.
Because that's how Alex actually found WSS. Was I think she set up a local pub stomp, and the rest of WSS found out about it. They're like, oh, this is, right next, like, this would be fun kind of thing. And they end up hanging out and having a good time, and they've been playing Dota ever since. So that was kind of how the core of WSS was founded. Also at Pub Stomps. Also at Pub Stomps. Okay, so now that we know a little bit about Dill, our guest here, let's talk about what we all want to know, what we all want to hear, what we all see is some WSS teams. So let's just talk about the Vols first. So the Vols.
So we're going down the line.
We're going down the line.
All right.
So Vols super fresh team.
The newest addition, the fresh meat to WSS.
They've been having tryouts for a couple weeks. Got their roster finalized last Thursday or something. So I played with them, I think, earlier this week, actually. I was really impressed by their mid laner. Thought he was a pretty good player. Which I think we had one of their supports come in too. And I thought that guy was pretty solid as well. I think their captain's pretty cool dude. Friendly Monster, if you've never met him. What's kind of your take? I mean, again, it's fairly unknown. Like most of these people, I don't think. Again, other than this week, I hadn't met any of them. So
yeah, they're the newest addition. I think they had a really good showing in the WSS versus Grid Charity event.
Yep, for sure.
Obviously, every team but ours won. Also, every team but ours took it seriously, which we apparently did not get the memo on that. We were going straight for content, trying to raise money and have fun. We did not get the memo that we were going to be the only ones losing. But again, had a great showing. Don't really know again too much about the players. Ice Cube is pretty much the only person that I really looked into. Obviously, just carry player.
Right.
Just checking out kind of hero pool and stuff like that. But I have heard a bit about this Friendly Monster Pango. And we got to see it. Got to see it in action. It did some work. Definitely did some work.
Yeah,
but, everyone else I'm not really too familiar with, but I'm super excited to see how this team plays throughout the season. They seem very strong.
Yeah, I will say too, like just having a Crusader League for the first time, I'm really excited to just see like that start. Because Archon League when it first started was, 4 maybe 5 teams. Most people didn't want to play in Archon League. They're like, I don't want to play in the lower league. And then everyone's playing it now because there's like 20 teams or something crazy in Archon League. I mean, so yeah, it's sometimes it starts with 4 or 5 teams. Next season you get like 8. I'm really looking forward to that Crusader League, see how it grows. Next up we have the WSS Harpies. So this team has been with us since season 29, if I'm correct about this. We picked them up after they had won season 28 under a different name. They've undergone some roster changes. I think only 1.5 players remain since that roster, because I think Little Burrito joined late that season.
So I think it was they had like a different mid player, and then it was that carry player that got kicked.
Was it AZ? No.
That was Myriad Sloths.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That whole scenario. I wasn't gonna bring up the name, but
No, that's right.
That whole scenario, if you don't know about it, good.
Well, it wasn't. We should not talk about it. It wasn't.
Yeah,
good.
We shouldn't talk about it.
But it was. I remember it was AZ and Little Burrito at one point, season 29.
Yeah, and then they brought in somebody to play that carry role, or I think they brought in AZ to play mid, and Little Burrito moved to carry for a bit, maybe.
Yeah, but Little Burrito was on the roster already, right?
I think so. I think he was their mid and moved to carry for a little bit, or at least they made that role kind of flexible.
Okay.
I know Little Burrito can play both at a very high level in Archon. So,
okay, so then,
I think they really.
I mean, of the original roster, realistically, Synapse is the only one left, right? Of the roster that joined us in season 29, yeah. Well, I guess Little Burrito as well, right? Because I think Little Burrito joined us season 29, so only those two.
But they seem to keep getting new additions. I think.
Oh yeah.
With them continually being a stronger team, it's easier to get better players. You just attract and with the growth and success of WSS, it just kind of adds to it.
Right, for
Um,
sure.
there's a lot of people wanting to join, like just because of the name,
Oh yeah. I mean,
like, and just because of what we've been able to do as an org.
I had to get permission to put this logo on this podcast. You kidding me? They're
To pay money
killing
for
me.
it.
They're like, okay, well, you'll take 10% of the cut, and I go, what are you talking?
Yeah,
Well, hold on,
it's
what?
like,
No, I'm
whoa,
just kidding.
hey, hold
I'm
up.
just kidding. But like Kitty and Panda joined us. Pandemonium joined us last season in season 30. I think honestly they've been great additions since. And then of course we haven't mentioned it yet either, but Darth Heisenberg, who's played on Kobolds the last few seasons, stepped down to go to Harpies as well.
I think that'll be a big help for them in leadership for sure. Having the experience of doing very well in Contender, winning Contender, and his experience with other intermediate and divine games as well, and just being around, because I know a lot of Archon League, it's more of their introduction into amateur Dota, and I think just having that experience um, is definitely going to help them a lot, as well as just being a very, very solid player in the support role.
Yep. I think they've got a good team on their hands. It's going to be fun to watch, them play across, against 20 other Archon teams or whatever it is this season. Don't know the exact number, but before we move on to Kobolds, I'll transition, and Darth won't be happy about me mentioning this, but Darth gave away his spot on Kobolds to Rhett because Rhett sat out a season and played the previous 2 seasons with Kobolds, and he felt like Rhett deserved his spot. So, good guy Darth. If you ever see him, make sure you let him know. Because again, he didn't have to do that. It was his spot, and he again chose to give it to Rhett, which I think was very generous of him. But then moving on to what?
One thing I don't think we can skip over was this bit of information we were talking about maybe before. You were saying there are a lot of teams in the Archon League, but the Harpies decided that they wanted to play a contender team. How did that go?
We'll talk about that later when we do some predictions on how they'll do in the season.
All right.
We'll get to that in a second. We're not skipping over it. It's future content.
Future content.
But moving on to Contender, because that's of course
to a podcast near you.
Coming soon to a podcast near you.
There it is.
So WSS Kobolds, our team, of course, we're both on the Kobolds. I mean, I'm happy because we finally get to play with this was the roster we wanted to sign up with. Like you mentioned in your introduction, this was pretty much the roster we were going to sign up with beforehand. Just adding Rhett instead of Darth Heisenberg. So I'm really excited to play with the boys again. I've been waiting seasons, years to play with the infamous Anthem. We've been trying to schedule it, and every time he dodges me, but this time he can't dodge.
Can't dodge.
Can't dodge. And we still have Fructose Father, who's also just super. He's always in a good mood.
God tier position
4. He's always in a good mood. Unless you tell him to be in a bad mood or something. I don't know.
Unless you tell him you can't pick Pudge.
Unless I pick him Lion, and then he's like,
yeah.
He's like, they said it's not my line, but it's my line. do you remember that?
Don't worry, it's not yours. We'll play it mid or something.
He left Discord mid-draft as soon as I picked Lion, and I go, don't worry, it's not your Lion. And he gone. He was like, he immediately went to Watch Party to talk and complain about how he's playing Lion.
And then he just owned on the hero.
Yeah, of course he did, dude. He's so good. He was just mad he wasn't playing something fun. He's like,
I remember that game
because
it's the only game that we played Lion.
Yeah, it is the only game we played
25 minutes.
But I won't talk too much about Kobolds. One, because I've eaten into a lot of the time here already, just talking about Harpies and Vools. But yeah, I'm excited to play with the boys again. You and I are both on the team again, so it feels like we're back at home. It feels really good.
It feels like we're back, and I think we're playing well. We definitely have some things to improve on, but I think that'll obviously
it'll work itself out once we get more.
It'll definitely work itself out.
Yeah.
We have a few games under our belts. We have a few stomps. Like obviously, when things click, it's very hard to stop us. I'm feeling very comfortable. I think we have big shoes to fill. I think 4 out of the 6 preseason predictions has us as the favorite to win. So it's a bit of high expectations, but I think we can definitely live up to them for sure.
We'll at least get close.
Yeah,
as long as we start at like 6 p.m. every night. No,
we'll try 3 for 3 grand finals appearances.
3 for 3 in contender would be the absolute dream. But
so far, it's looking good.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to Satyrs. So Satyrs, this is one when the season before the season started.
I like the stack.
I love the stack, but before the season started, I was like, when I was leaving, I was like, I feel really nervous. I feel really bad because I knew that 4 to 5 of us were gone. And I had to tell that, and Urbo was like, I'll still play on WSS. Urbo didn't have to. Urbo could have done whatever he wanted to. Urbo could have been like, I'll just test my free agency, like see if someone needs a fifth, because that's very likely.
Because Urbo is a very good support player.
Urbo is like renowned as the best pause 5 in intermediate, like for seasons.
Like if he leaves a team and is looking, or if he's looking for a team, it will get picked up very quickly. Yeah. But I'm glad he decided to stay and rebuild the team. I think the people that were brought in are very good.
When I say this, I'm not joking. I think they almost, if they didn't, get the best player per position in intermediate. I might be overstepping there when I say that, but like they got some damn good players.
They got some. They have a good roster. I think if they can keep consistency, will be the big thing for them.
They broke Stim out of retirement. You know, his mechanical engineering days are over. He's back to playing Dota. They got Fathom Mord because. Fun fact, I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it was Fathom. Fall Damage didn't. They were like, "Oh yeah, our mid laner's coming back," so they kicked him. And when I heard that, I was like, "What? You kicked? You just kicked your ace in the pocket for Doc Oz?" I was like, "Doc Oz is a great guy, and Doc Oz knows all those guys very well." So like, I won't harp on him too much. But I was like, "Man, you kicked Fathom." I was like, "You couldn't have given him like a we'll promise you 1 out of 2 games each week if you still play with us." Like, he's a good player, dude. He can play a lot of roles.
He has more plat tier heroes than I have hours in Dota.
Yeah, dude, he plays a lot of Dota.
He plays a lot.
And then pair that with Stim and all of his dangerous offlaners. You have Urbo with, you know, all these dangerous pause 5. He has pause 5 heroes that you have to respect ban.
You have to respect ban.
How many pause 5 players do you have to respect ban? Yeah, there's a lot that you're like, it would be nice if we could ban this guy's plat tier Oracle. But we could just pick, you know, a Shadow Demon or AA and we'll be okay. No, this man's like, no, we can't deal with Urbo this hero or Urbo that hero. Like, it's just too much for us.
Common bans against us last season was always Nyx Batrider.
It was always one Urbo hero, 170 hero.
Exactly. Always a 5 hero and always an offlane hero you had to ban every game.
Yep. And then I haven't even mentioned either Manoy. I remember playing him a long time ago in a couple games. And every time I scouted him, I was like, I feel like this guy is better than his rank, but he just plays with not very good players. And he was usually like the highest MMR player on his team, but he was playing like 4 every game. So I was like, well, I don't know like how good he is because he's playing forward. He can't like solo carry the team as a 4. But now put him around again, all these really great cores and Urbo, and Manoy looks like he's been absolutely. Did you see the charity event? Those slams.
Yeah, he was owning.
He's killing it.
I know he also
and King looks really good too.
Mid for a bit.
Yeah.
So
fairly versatile player.
That might work with, I guess. I know when I play 4 as a carry player, I tend to greed a bit because I am used to farming.
Mm-hmm.
I know Urbo plays that hard position 5, like
6.5, 7.
Boots and a stick at 20 minutes.
Boots
hard.
and stick. Well, like, he didn't have the stick yet. Well, he didn't have boots yet.
Or he didn't have boots yet.
Yeah. It was just stick. It was just stick at 20 minutes.
But so it allows Manoy to maybe play a bit greedier on the heroes like his Shaker, and that could be super dangerous. Definitely a team to watch out for.
That's going to be a scary team. And then lastly, getting the Hellbears. The Hellbears, another team that's been with us in season 28. 3/5 returning roster from their back-to-back championships. One role change of those 3 players. Control moving from safe lane to mid, which Master Z and I talked about in our Divine League content. I think that's definitely his better role. He would rather play mid than safe lane any day of the week. I think he played safe lane because Master Z was our mid laner, and you can't help but respect the Master Z mid.
I mean, all I've got to
move
say
out of the
about
way,
that,
like there's a new sheriff in town. Is kind of how it is, but
yeah, all I've got to say about that is if you're winning back-to-back championships and getting third place in the next season as a carry, and then you go to your better role,
yeah, right.
I think they're going to be. I think the dynamic of the team is going to be completely different, but I
Mhm.
think the results are still going to be there.
Yeah. Well, and important. I actually think it's smart that he changed rules too, because they knew that 2 of their players weren't playing. It was going to be their 2 and their 5. So Control has this option to play 2 and then look for a safe lane duo, which I think was really smart on there, and to be like, okay, Control can move to his better role, and it makes like scouting and finding 2 players way easier. Because now instead of finding now you can pick up 2 people for 2 for the price of 1, right? Like you pick up 2 players.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they have 1,000 games together in the safe lane. It's like, that's easy. Those are our guys, right? Like,
Yep.
and the guys they picked up, Hollow and Master Builder. Yeah, great player. They've been playing together. I mean, if not on like certain 82L teams, they've been trying to play with each other for RD2L. They've been playing pubs together for a good while now. Like,
For sure.
and Master Builder, a very, very value support in my mind. I just remember his first season when we played against him, and I was like, dude, what the
He's
heck?
a
This
mid
guy only
player,
plays
too.
support. I was like, this guy only plays support, and he's their mid? I was like trying to scout him. I'm like, who's their mid? But yeah, that team's going to be good. They still have Lethal Kittens and Fire Fist in the off lane, who have been
Oh my
dominant
God.
for seasons. So
Back to back to back to back.
yeah, like
MVPs of the week. Like,
That's what I mean.
Oh my God. Just like that is the off lane.
Hellbears is
duo.
still here. Yeah, they haven't gone anywhere, I don't think. I think they're still looking very strong. So
Aegis League team.
Aegis League team. All right. The WSS Storm Hides. Thunder Hides? Thunder Hides.
Black Dragons.
Stormcrafter.
Something like that.
The item. I couldn't think of what they're called. Dude. It's Thunder Hides, though. It's definitely Thunder.
Yeah, Ancient Black Dragons.
Yeah, we don't have an Aegis League team. Let's not confuse people here.
Never mind. Carry on.
Okay. So real quick, let's go through. Let me see if I can pull it up without messing anything up. I don't think it will. So let's pull up Dota.PlayOnGG. Let's look through these leagues. Let's kind of guess where we think these teams will fall. We don't have to get super in depth on it. Bulls. So far, there's 5 teams with a potential 6th to enter the league. Be really cool if they had 6. That means they can do pretty much a complete round robin into playoffs. What are your thoughts on Bulls? Do you think they're a top 2 team? Do you think they're top half and the top 3? Or where do you think they are right now?
Yeah, I would say top 2 team, but I don't think there's a team that's going to come close to them.
Oh, so you have them hard favorites then? You think they're just the best?
Oh, I believe in the boys. The only Mittenses are in there too. So
I was about to say there's Lemon Snowcones and Mittenses who played in Archon League forever.
Okay, so the other teams, Grin, not gonna worry about. Smashed them in the
they played really well versus
Lemon Snowcones has been in the league longer than it's been in existence.
Even Mittenses usually gets a lot of wins during regular season in Archon League. Am I wrong with this?
They've been fairly consistent the last few seasons. Cuddly Crab is T's new team, and they're gonna have a vengeance against all things WSS.
Why?
Probably, I don't know. I don't.
That's T's team.
Cuddly Crab is T's team.
Okay.
So
why didn't he? I thought he wanted to get revenge on the Archon League team.
Oh, I don't know.
Huh.
He's in the wrong league for that.
Well, no, I mean, he's probably. I mean, if you're eligible for one league, you might as well play it in it.
True. So, Lemon Snowcones and Mittenses are my 2 to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Mostly just being Archon teams, not being bad Archon teams, and dropping down a league.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Wolves can put up good results against those 2 teams, they have a very good chance at making a solid playoff run.
I think they'll find a way to make it to grand finals. And yeah, I agree with you. I think those will be 2 teams they'll have to watch out for. We don't have a whole lot of time, so we'll try to go through these
we can go through
quicker.
You can yell at me if I'm
Archon League, Harpies. I mean, I think they'll win it all.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what we didn't mention earlier. The Harpies.
Yeah, we can talk about that for a second.
So they just came off a scrim, and it's just a scrim. Like, there could be nothing to take from this, but they just came off a scrim against a contender team and won. Took it to 70 minutes, so it was a close one at that. Yeah, I don't know. The only other team I'd actually watch out for, Instigators, and I'm kind of memeing when I say that, but kind of not. One of my friends who used to play in intermediate league with me a long time ago is playing on that team as their 3. So they could be dangerous. I don't think they're a complete team like the Harpies. I feel like the Harpies are just all around.
Kip.
Yep, Kip is back.
Oh, you know
Kip. That's
Kip.
Right, you do know Kip.
Yeah. So I think Kip will bring a lot to that team. Also, again, same kind of thing with Crusader League. You have FOTP dropping down from that consistent running contender.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh
gosh, I forgot about that. Yeah, they're gonna be really good too. Honestly, and I actually, even though I think Harpies looked head and shoulders above Grin Swift, I thought Grin Swift looked really good in their game too. I do think I think Harpies are almost a contender team at this point in my.
I would agree.
They're bordering that line where they're past the barrier.
Their core duo of Pandemonium and Little Burrito, I think, is just going to be too good for the rest of intermediate.
Yeah, too good for intermediate, dude. We already know where they are, dude. They're so good.
Oh, I believe, dude. That team is definitely going to be towards the top if they can keep it together, keep composed.
Yep.
I think that team's going to do very well.
All right, our team. I don't want to do our team.
We can do
this.
So
you know what we can do is 4 out of 6 people that did contender content picked us to win. Enough said.
3.5 because
it was 3.5. You're right. Talus didn't technically want to vote for us. That's true.
Yeah, he said if I couldn't pick my team, we'll pick them.
Talus did just get 2-0'd by Pot of Envy, who I thought were the close second to us, which we won 1. So. Yeah, I think we're definitely front runners to win the contender league.
Top 3 for sure.
I think we're top 3 with Pot of Envy, and I still think Death will get up there to that level if they're not there now.
I think they need to fix a few drafting things, and then they'll be up there.
We'll see how it works out.
We'll see.
So Satyrs. Pot of Greed is a lot better now. BJack just hit like Ancient 4 or 5. Their pause 5 is like Divine 2. Their safe lane's going to be good. Rob Boss, I think, can hold his own.
See, I don't know a few of these other teams. Oh, okay,
I don't know a lot of them. Grin Ethereal's going to be good. I think Pot of Greed's going to be good. I think Satyrs is good. I think Fall Damage is good. I do think they hit top 4.
I think Satyrs will be better than Fall Damage.
Oh, no, yeah, sorry. I said Fall Damage, still thinking Fathom's on the team. I think they're definitely a top 3 team. I think they're going to the grand finals for sure.
I think if they, because I know they practice a lot, as does all the Satyrs teams. I think Urbo is super excited about this team, which is really good. They're practicing a lot. They're playing a lot together.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they can keep consistency in their play throughout the season, they're only going to get better, which is very dangerous for the rest of these teams.
I was going to say, this is a completely new stack too, and they've already kind of come out swinging. If a lot of these teams are returning lineups, etc. Keep in mind, WSS Satyrs, they formed about a month ago, and none of these players have pretty much played together. I think except for Fathom and Minoy. I could be wrong about that. It's either Fathom and Minoy or King and Minoy. But either way, I think they're definitely looking like grand finals appearance. Hellbears.
I would agree. I'd say top 3 as well.
Yeah, I think top 3 for sure. But I think they can get the hump over to go to the grand finals match at least.
Yeah.
Hellbears.
Ooh.
This is gonna be one of the tougher seasons for them, I think, because of the MMR average change. And because of they're adding 2 new players. So Z Factor, last time they played against Hellbears in a best of 5 for the grand finals. WSS won. That was their second championship for the Hellbears name. But it's the exact same Z Factor stat coming back. And I said this in Divine League content. To me, they're my favorites. Even though Victoria's Secret just won, and Victoria's Secret also has their returning roster. I think Hellbears definitely has potential to get to the grand finals this season. I do feel like they're gonna need to work out some drafting issues because I believe they changed drafters as well. Control's a very good drafter, but he hasn't drafted the past 3 seasons, so he may just need a few games to get him back into it. I think Hellbears could get there.
We did talk about the roster change and the potential strength of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not as familiar with the rest of the Divine League and how they'll fare, because I'm sure the MMR change not only hurt WSS, I assume it hurt everyone else as well.
But Victoria's Secret and Z Factor were already really good, and it didn't touch them at all.
And they're the same.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the point to shoot for, is those 2 teams. Yeah. I think there's definitely a very good chance that they beat any team on any given day, as Divine League usually is.
Yeah. And there's even, I mean, we were looking at this too. There's a couple Dark Horse, I think actually their name. They look like they could be a Dark Horse. Like they played in the Heroic League when it was called the Heroic League, so they could be very very dangerous.
Cool. So it definitely a lot of good competition.
Yeah.
For the Hellbears this season. I'm looking forward to seeing how they do.
I really hope we can reschedule a lot of our games just as Kobolds so that we can watch these other teams. Because honestly, I'm super excited to watch every single one of our teams play this season. I think they all look great coming out of the off season. I'm really excited. Like, I hope I get to cast some Fools games. I hope.
This
will be so fun.
This will be, I think, the biggest community involvement as an organization as well. So. I think we're all having a really good time and just really enjoying the atmosphere of one, kind of building new teams.
Mm-hmm.
And also just the introduction of the new Fools is just an awesome thing.
Yep. All right, on to what is going to be the greatest segment in WSS history.
Ready.
That's my mini drum roll. So, we're titling this Pog or Dog, and what we're going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in someone from the WSS community, one of their builds that looks like it could be questionable, but was it a Pog move?
Oh, no, it's going to be my own.
So we're going to go ahead and look at this. First, I want to see if you can guess this hero.
Okay.
And I picked this one specifically because I'll tell you later why. I wanted to pick one of yours pretty badly, but I didn't. I was very kind and not to do that.
Okay. My builds aren't that bad.
Okay. I'll give you 3 guesses, and I'll give you a big hint with each guess.
It's either.
Just give me one hero first.
Wraith King.
Wraith King? Yeah. That is incorrect. It is a strength hero.
Okay, I assumed it's a strength offlaner. The armlet's weird. Like everything else is just like offlane stuff.
Okay.
I want to say Doom for whatever reason.
Okay, it is actually Doom. You got it second guess. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I don't know. It's mostly the drums, I'd say, that gave it away.
So here is the draft of the game. And again, I've blurred out names for anonymity's sake right now.
Okay.
Would you call this build Pog or Dog? In this game. So you're an offlane Doom, right? You're building Phase, Armlet, Blink, Drums, Halberd, working towards BKB. You're playing against a Lesh, Nyx, Willow, Mirana, Anti-Mage.
I think if you just go Drums into Blink, if you take out the Armlet, put the Drums before Blink and finish your build, I think it's fine.
Okay. So, and then we'll do another. Do you think you won with this build or lost with this build? I wish I could blur levels too.
Thanks for the hint.
Well, it doesn't really help, but it's...
No, it doesn't.
They're pretty close in levels this time.
Who's the offlaner? Nyx. God. Uh, I want to say Dire Lost.
Okay, and
It's a
then I'll
Radiant
give
one.
you a hint to which team they're on, and I'll give you two guesses to guess the player. So this is a Harpies player playing Doom,
Okay.
a current Harpies player.
Okay. I saw the techies band from the other team and thought it could have been
Alex,
maybe
maybe.
yeah. God. So because you gave this, I want to say it's not the normal offlaner. So I want to go with Little Burrito.
Yeah, it's not Little Burrito.
Oh, dang it. Oh God, who would play Doom?
Also, did you you didn't
it
declare this
Beigel?
Pog or Dog yet?
Is it Beigel?
It's Beigel, dude. This is
Yes,
Darth
I
Heisenberg.
knew it.
So,
So honestly, that's not bad.
so this is a game we were in. We did lose it.
Wait, we were in this?
I was in this game. This is one of the earliest iterations of WSS.
I was not.
Or not earliest. This is right after Master Z and Alex took a break to play on another team. And
Okay.
and Darth and Fructose Father added me, Revamp, and Triple to play on this
Damn,
iteration
Levi,
of
you greedy
WSS.
bitch.
So would you call this build Pog or Dog? The Armlet Rush on Doom.
I mean, other than the armlet, it's pretty Pog.
Pretty Pog? Okay, pretty Pog.
It's not Dog.
It's not Dog. Okay, so Pog it is.
It's not Dog.
Sounds good to
Also,
me.
next time you do this, I know you blurred out the Radiant win, but I didn't see a trophy next to Dire, so I knew that Dire lost.
Yeah.
I cheated a little bit.
I was trying to make it as difficult as possible, but it was still very difficult to get everything the way I wanted to. But yeah, I mean that's Pog or Dog. That's what it's gonna be. We're just gonna pull a random member of WSS. I'm gonna look for one of the worst builds or one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Maybe not worst, bad way to put it. This game in particular, I was playing with Darth, and I remember looking over and I go, I have an Armlet Doom, because for whatever reason I was playing Huskar, and I was like, we have too many armlets in this game.
That's great. All
right, well. That's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the preseason WSS podcast. I will contact the next person that we will have on for next week. And yeah, hopefully everyone had a lot of fun. Still, you got anything to say?
Just super excited to see all the teams and hopefully cast a few.
All right, sounds good. We will see you guys next week.